with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in.
We're there, folks, deep in the red zone, deep in the red hot zone.
Touchdown! Let's go!
Cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in.
We're there, folks, deep in the red zone, deep in the red hot zone.
Touchdown! Let's go!
Cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in.
We're there, folks, deep in the red zone, deep in the red hot zone.
Touchdown! Let's go!
Cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with the battalion behind me. coming in with a battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with a battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with a battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with a battalion behind me. I'm gonna knock you out. Get from in front of me, cause I'm coming in with a battalion behind me.
The following is a live presentation of TPC Sports. The following is a live presentation of TPC Sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to TPC Sports Live, Detroit versus Minnesota. My name is Meader, and I'm joined in the booth here today by Meader. How's it going today?
It's going very well, sir.
Happy to hear it. This is a matchup of champions. Very, very good. These guys are in the same division, I believe, correct?
They are, and both past champions, as you pointed out.
John Z and Kiv, two of the most decorated TPCFL players in the history of the league, going head-to-head right now. John Z with the Lions and Kiv with the Vikings. And we'll see how they face off here today. Really, really excited for this matchup.
Stuff there on that first run to the left. I guess Minnesota was waiting for that one.
It seems that way. A little run attempt. No go. Setting up a 2nd and 9 now. Stafford drops back into the shotgun handoff. Now trying the right side. Stopped immediately again. Another pickup of 1. Not a lot of room to run.
No, not a lot. We saw a similar style from the Lions earlier last week when they're playing against Chicago. They were trying to get that run game going early, and similar results, unfortunately.
Hopefully able to mix something up here. The run game's so important for both of these teams. Snap now, dropping back to the 20, thrown over the middle, and this one caught out of the hands of the defense and taken down for a first. 17 yards on the reception.
Wow, I thought that was actually going to the nearer receiver, but it went right over his head and went to the tight end in behind him and just barely complete.
2 out to the left now. Stafford directly behind the center with 1 in the backfield. Offensive line strong and trailing to the right side. The right side pretty loaded up by the Vikings, and that's where the run goes, trying to get out to the outside, and no go. Galladay with a loss of 2 on the run attempt.
Tried that jet sweep, and they just couldn't complete it. Minnesota was sitting there waiting for it.
Stafford now steps back into a deep shotgun. 1 just to his left, 2 far to the right, 1 far to the left. Offensive line strong on the right side. falling out to the right side, takes the snap, dropping back, looking, throwing over the middle, over the head of the defense. There's a first down, and taken down at the 39.
He's dropping them in between the defense. He's going to have to be very careful with those. He's got some pinpoint passing so far, but if they're off by a little bit, the defense is definitely going to get a hand on it.
That's a fair point. Very, very strong defense on Minnesota's side. Throw over the middle to the trailing runner, and it's caught and taken out for another first down. A good little momentum here for Detroit.
I didn't see the trailing runner at first. I thought he had missed that throw, and I realized it was actually a second Detroit player running the same route.
I agree. I 100% agree. Stepping back up to the line now, Stafford directly behind the center. 3 just off the line to the right and 1 way out to the left. Man in the backfield touching his shoulders a couple of times. Stafford making some calls. Handoff out to the left side. One guy to get past, tries to spin, and is immediately taken down the 25-yard line.
Just could not get to the edge that time. They were playing man on the running back, and they were able to get him.
Now in a 2nd and 8. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Stafford dropping back to the 30. The snap coming from the 25. Handoff cutting to the right, then back to the left, and taken all the way down to the 13-yard line. They're well into the red zone now.
That opened up a nice running lane for him right in the center. He was able to get that first down. Really well done.
That was a beautifully run. Looks like he was taken off to the right. I don't know if that was designed to be a cutback there, but perfectly executed. Stafford again, handoff fake this time, looking into the end zone, throwing into the end zone, single coverage, and he can't come down with it. Incomplete. Stafford's first incompletion.
He was thrown into triple coverage there. He had to be careful. I mean, he put it only where his receiver could get it, but that was still a dangerous pass.
Stafford again, stepping back into the shotgun. Takes the snap, dropping back behind the 20, back to the 25, throwing into the end zone. This one's intercepted. The bullet pass doesn't hit its mark. And Minnesota now takes over at the 20-yard line.
He had a man open underneath. He elected not to go with him, go for the deep ball, and he paid the price.
Huge, huge, huge. Minnesota stops a deadly drive. Detroit was marching right along, and all momentum ceased instantly right there. Now it's going to take a little doing to get some momentum back.
It will. Yeah, a big stop here would do a lot to get the momentum back, I think, for them.
Cousins takes over, directly behind the center, takes the snap, handoff, and cut down at the knees for a loss of 1. Abdullah can't get any momentum.
It's been really tough for Minnesota on their running game since they lost Murray to injury there a few weeks ago. They've really had a tough time getting back on track with the run game.
It's always difficult to readjust when you lose one of your key players. Really fascinating, though, to see how these veterans handle situations like that. Expect the unexpected and be able to adapt.
I mean, you're working with the same offensive line. You've got the same wide receivers and fullbacks doing your blocking. So it's just a matter of finding the right combination.
Feeling out to the left, handoff to the man out behind, and Madison this time picks up 2 yards, undoing the loss of the last down. But now it is 3rd down.
In the last game with the Vikings, Madison did get most of the carries over Abdullah. So it'll be interesting to see if the Vikings decide to stick that way again today.
1 out wide on either side, 2 in the backfield, offset. Cousins takes the snap from directly behind the center, handoff fake to the right, throwing out to the left on the rollout, and there's a first down to the 38 now.
Nice pass to the tight end, Rudolph. He wasn't wide open, but he had position on the defender and was able to take that pass.
Hitting the big man in those situations, very key. 1 out wide on either side now. Same formation, actually. Rudolph is on the right side of the line. Cousins customizing this play. Handoff out to the right side. Getting some blocking, somehow bouncing off defense and offense alike and picking up 4 yards out of that.
Yeah, he made way more out of that than I was expecting. I thought he was going to get creamed right at the line, but he kept chugging away and was able to get a few yards.
Brings up a 2nd and 6 from the 42. Looking to break into the opponent's side of the field here with less than 30 seconds left in the first. And the first has flown by.
It has. A good chunk of that was Detroit with their drive down the field. Unfortunately, it ended with an interception, but
Very fair point. Detroit did have a great drive with a not so great ending for them. And now sets up Minnesota for a chance at some points themselves. Cousins lateral out to the right, trying to get some good blocking, and does. He's got a whole lot of room. One guy downfield, a little nudge of him, trying to cut back in, puts out the arm, and Madison taken down deep in the opponent's zone all the way to the 24.
now the Vikings have that running game moving. That makes things a little harder for Detroit because they don't know if they're going to run the football or if they're going to pass the football. It just opens up a lot of possibilities for the offense.
Fair analysis there. The snap here, dropping back to the 30, throwing and gets his hand out. He was running in the opposite direction and was able to just swat it out of the air. Good defense.
He had the crosser underneath there, was wide open coming across, and he decided to go back behind Slay Jr., but Slay was there to actually tip the ball. Had he got that crosser, there was nobody out to the left to block him. That could have been a big game.
Fascinating decision there. Had to have thought that he had him on the run there. There was no way he'd be able to get back, but good athletic move. I formation now, trying to get up the middle, cutting through three guys and picking up some yards to move him right to the fringe of the red zone.
Picking up those tough yards again. He's run to the outside, he's run to the inside in this game, and he's been fairly effective at both.
3rd and 6 now. Not the ideal situation for Minnesota, but the drive keeps moving, and right now they're in field goal position. So hopefully not taking too many risks and learning from Detroit.
Got a man
here over the middle. There's the first.
Diggs on the outside coming in on the slant route. He was open. He ran right into that zone and was just able to catch that football with nobody around.
And now they've moved through the red zone into the red hot zone, the 8-yard line. No more first downs. It's end zone or bust, folks.
We've slipped into the second quarter with no score so far. Now, the big thing, I think, for that interception by the Vikings is it actually has flipped the field as well in the second half because they'll get the ball to start.
That's a fair point.
Abdullah.
Striking first plus getting the ball back. Pushing through everybody. Madison there.
Oh, Madison? Sorry, I thought it was Abdullah.
No, absolutely. And driving all the way to the 3-yard line. Now a second and very short goal.
See if they stick with the run game here down on the line. They got 2 out wide. We'll see.
High formation snap. Immediately crushed behind the line all the way back to the 5. A 2-yard loss.
Detroit was waiting for that. The linebacker was coming on the outside. He was basically waiting for that handoff.
And he got it. Nobody fooled on the handoff. And the result is a 3rd and goal from the 5. High formation with one on either side and Rudolph on the right side of the line. Cousins takes the snap, dropping back, looking, throwing over the middle and swatted out of the air.
Another good play by Detroit. They were able to get there and just get a hand on the football, which is all you need to do.
Not the same ending as Detroit on their own drive. They got very close as well, but theirs ended in an interception where Minnesota ends in a field goal and 3 points.
I think being with 1st and goal on the 8-yard line, Detroit will take the 3 points, I think, in that circumstance.
A little 21-yard chip field goal and 3 points. I think that's a very fair point. Those are borrowed points to begin with. This one kicked into the end zone. Going to be returned. There's the 10, the 20, weaving. There's the 25. He broke through and is taken down at the 33. It looks like he stutter-stepped once he broke through. Maybe he wasn't expecting it, trying to switch hands with the ball, but regardless, got taken down because of it.
Yeah, he only basically had one more guy to beat, and then I think he might have had it.
2 to the left, 1 to the right, a man in the backfield.
Great field position for Detroit.
Snap, handoff, pushing up the middle and taken down at the 36, a little 3-yard gain.
Johnson this time gets a little bit, makes things a little easier. Lots of time on the clock. We're just under 4 minutes here in the second quarter.
Stafford stepping up, Directly behind the center, man in the backfield. One way out to the right, three to the left. Lateral out to the right, getting some good blocking. One guy to get past, and he's taken down. He had good blocking right up until that point.
I thought he was going to cut inside there rather than continuing towards the outside because it looked like there was a lane there, but he stayed to the outside.
I got to agree. I don't think he expected anybody to break. Last time had perfect blocking. This time, just shy of perfect blocking. Regardless, 3rd and 5 now from the 37. The snap in the shotgun back to the 30. Looking downfield, throwing to a wide open receiver, and past the 50 now before he's taken down.
He had his choice of receivers there. He actually had two that were crossing each other that were both open. Decided to go with the one moving to the left.
And that's what I've noticed so far today is he's choosing the guy out behind rather than the one in front. And in some situations that's burned him, and in others it may have given him some extra yardage.
Yeah, no, I agree totally.
Stafford behind the center. 2 to the left, 1 in the backfield. Jet sweep fake, handoff to the left, and taken down on the man on the edge.
They weren't falling for the fake that time. They were right there just waiting for him.
It was a good fake, especially where they ran that sweep earlier.
That was a good fake. Defensive lineman, though, was just sitting there waiting for it. Good play by the defense there.
Single wide, either side. 2 in the backfield. Stafford takes the snap, dropping back, looking downfield, throwing over the middle, intercepted again.
He had a man out to his right who was open and then ran into some coverage. I think he was waiting for him to come open again, decided to check down and go to the guy in the middle, and the linebacker was just sitting there waiting for it.
I could have sworn I heard a clipboard break on the sidelines.
I would not be surprised on that one. So this is a great opportunity for Minnesota. Just before the 2-minute warning, they've got the football on the 38-yard line. We'll see if they can add some extra points going into the half. Remember, they get the football back starting the second half as well.
Clock is their friend at the moment. Handoff, cutting out the right side, had a gap, and got knocked down at the 40. Pick up a 2.
And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. See what Minnesota decides to do here. They're usually a pretty balanced team. They like to mix their runs and passes pretty effectively, and they've been pretty effective on their runs today. Let's see what they can do here with a single high coverage.
Feeling out to the right, Cousins takes the snap, handoff fake, rolling out to the left, looking downfield, stepping forward and throws up in the air for the ball, and he comes down with it, and there's a big, big first down, and the clock keeps moving.
That was great on Rudolph. I think in his original run, he was due to kind of cut back to the left. Instead, he just turned upfield, and Cousins was able to find him.
Very, very tall man, put it up high where no one else could get it, and Rudolph comes down with it. 1 wide on either side, shift from the defense. They see something. 1 in the backfield, Cousins, handoff to him, and breaking the tackle and immediately taking down Abdullah. Well done by the defense. Hurry up offense.
Well read there by the linebacker.
1 wide on either side, mixing it up. Minnesota calling for some audibles. Detroit doing the same. Snap, looking downfield, throwing over to the left, over to the right. This one's caught. He's got tons of room.
Down to the 7-yard line. Diggs got open on the inside, got position on the defender, and then just ran about another 15 yards on top of that.
Diggs takes it from midfield through the red zone into the red hot zone. The 7-yard line, handoff, and crushed at the 10, which is where this drive will continue.
Tried to run the football on that first play, and Detroit was having none of it this time.
2nd and goal now with 30 seconds. He's letting the clock tick down. Kiv not daunted at all by the rapidly depleting clock.
Yeah, not using any of their timeouts just yet.
Handoff fake, looking downfield, throwing into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota!
Great play there. The fake off to the left-hand side, and then he cruised out to the left, passed off the football. Excellent play.
And the extra point makes it 7. 10-0 is your current score, and little to no time left on the clock. 15 seconds. Detroit does have all of their timeouts, but 15 seconds, not a lot of time.
Remember, they almost broke through the last time they were running the football back. Let's see what they can do on this one.
That's a fair point. Their last drive that made it almost to the end zone. Took them about a quarter to do, though.
Yeah, they've got 15 seconds here left on the clock. We'll see what they decide to do. Again, it's Minnesota's football coming out after the half, so you would think Detroit would want to try and do something here to at least keep this game close.
Maybe even just get Stafford back into sync of throwing. He's thrown 2 interceptions now. You don't want to get gunshot.
That's a good point.
High formation, 1 wide on either side. The snap, dropping back, looking downfield, waiting, throwing, and swatted out of the air.
There were 5 people in the center of the field, and only 2 of them were wearing Detroit jerseys.
Interesting to not let that develop a little more. I didn't see any pressure coming in from Minnesota. I may have overlooked it.
No, I didn't either, actually. I'm surprised that he kind of let that ball go.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. The snap, has time, waiting, throwing over the middle. It's caught, and he's taken down at the 35. And they'll let the clock run down, and that will end the first half. 10-0 your current score. Minnesota about to get the ball.
Defensively, Detroit played pretty good in that first half. It's really just the interceptions that have killed them so far. They've really got to put a drive together here, though. They've really got to step up defensively, get the football back. They can't let Minnesota punch this in here, or else they'll make this at least a 2-score or 3-score game.
That's a fair point. This is a pivotal moment right now. Possible momentum shift. We've seen a lot of teams turn it around in the second half. Will Detroit be one of them? They run this one out from in the end zone all the way to the 26.
Decent starting spot for Detroit on this drive. We'll see what they can... Sorry, for Minnesota on this drive. We'll see what they can put together.
Better than average for sure. High formation. Snap, handoff, has tons of room, cutting all the way to the outside, and he's got tons of green field ahead of him. 30 to the 20 to the 10, no one's catching him. Touchdown, Minnesota, are you kidding me?
Wow, 74-yard run right off the line of scrimmage. First series, first play on the half, and they get a touchdown. That's a killer for Detroit.
Dominance is the only word that comes to mind right now. Minnesota, so strong on defense with multiple interceptions, absolutely killing any momentum Detroit has had. And then on the other side of the ball, putting points up every time they have the ball in their hands. Exceptional work by Kivstad.
Second big run for them during this game, this one turning into a touchdown.
The Lions taking this one out from their own end zone. Bounced off his own guy. I think he would have had the 25, maybe the 26, but bounced off his own defender and was taken down at the 24.
He tried to get to the outside and just could not seem to do it. Reminder to watch us on Facebook or Twitter if you have access to TPC Sports Live.
Stafford lateral out to the right side. Got some good blocking there and was able to pick up the 33-yard line, a 9-yard run.
He was close to getting the first down there. That was actually a pretty good run to the right-hand side. He's been mostly running to the left so far, but maybe they decided it's time to flip things up a little bit, seeing as it hasn't been working.
High snap. Could have been a draw play. Ends up in a loss of yards.
They were waiting for him that time. They plugged the middle. He just could not get through.
Third and 3, 3 out to the left. Offensive line strong on the right side, and a man in the backfield. Stafford from the shotgun takes the snap, dropping back to the 25, back to the 20. Missed tackle, what could have been a sack. Beautiful pass over the left side, and there's a first down.
Saw that too. The defender was coming in and just fell down and gave Stafford a couple of extra seconds to make that completion. Otherwise, I think he was pretty much dead to rights.
And this time picking the man in front. There was a man trailing behind that I think the defense was ready to block, and he picked the right guy in this instance. Handoff now, getting out the left side of the offensive line and picking up more really good yards there. 2nd and inches now.
I mean, really, it was such a quick strike for Minnesota. You're thinking there's still 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter here, and Detroit's moving the football. Lots of time.
2 to the right, 1 to the left from the shotgun with a man just to his left. Stafford calling out to the left side, making a change, takes the snap, handoff fake, thrown quick over to the left. Looked like a nice little option play, and he chose the pass option there, and it was successful.
Just got it in there. That was really fast.
It was really fast decision to pass it, and in between 3 defenders. Well done.
I think the receiver was surprised to get that ball.
4 receivers, 2 aside. Nope, mixing it up. Nobody in the backfield now. 1 out wide on either side. Everyone else pretty tight on the line. The snap thrown out to the left on an out route. There's some good yardage there. 4 yards, picks up the 34-yard line. 2nd and 6.
That was nice. He pulled him out of the backfield, put him out wide, and actually passed off to the running back.
He saw something there.
He's trying to mix things. I think he was trying to mix up the coverage a little bit. Minnesota's certainly been very good on that all game.
Snap here. Handoff, trying to push up the middle. Had some good blocking, and they broke free. Took him down after a gain of 3. 3rd and 4. You can't get first downs, only picking up 3 yards a down.
I think this forces him into a passing down, unfortunately. We'll see what he's able to pull together here.
2 on either side, 1 off to the left. Stafford in the shotgun.
Center of the field is open. If Stafford can shift here and see if he can get a receiver into that open zone.
Mixing it up again, the same thing he did last time. 3 to the right now, 2 to the left. The snap, looking, throwing quickly over to the right. It's caught. Oh my God, that was fast. I didn't think he was going to catch it.
It was almost over his right-hand shoulder, but Stafford able to make that adjustment. He saw the hole in the defense. He's able to adjust that outside receiver and push the ball downfield. Good play.
Very well done. Pushes him halfway through the red zone into the edge of the red hot zone, the 10-yard line. Handoff now, pushing, and picking up 4 to the 6-yard line. 2nd and 6 now. They could technically pick up 1 more first down if they drop the ball on the half-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see if Detroit tries to go to the air here after being picked off this close before.
That's a really fair point. Stafford with the snap, handoff right up the middle. There was a gap, and it was filled.
I thought he might have had that, but the defender came across really quickly and just blocked him.
3rd and 4 now.
Still get a first down before they have to punch this in. We'll see what they can do here. This really is 4-down territory, I think, for Detroit, down 17-0.
Everybody on the line. The snap, quick throw over to the right, and there's a touchdown, Detroit.
Nice play. They kind of lined up looking like they were going to run. They got the tight end to come out of the backfield, and he was wide open for the touchdown. Great play, Detroit.
Well done and much needed. 7 points go on the board, and now they trail by just 10 with 1:04 left here in the 3rd.
So what they need now is a quick turnover and get back down the field if they have any hope, I think, of getting back into this game. They really need to stop Minnesota. They need a 3-and-out or a turnover on this series.
I think you're absolutely right. Kick to midway through the end zone. Being brought out, there's the 20, there's the 25, a little juke move, and spun down at the 29.
That was a good run back on that play. He didn't decide to run it to the inside or outside. He just decided, I'm just going to run it right up the middle.
I formation, 1 wide on either side. Snap, handoff, pushing forward, ducks the first guy and picks up good yards again.
This is one thing Detroit's got to be really wary of. This Viking running game the second half so far has been a killer for them.
7 rushes, 130 yards. The 70-plus yard runs really pad those stats, don't they?
They do, yep.
High formation, handoff again, driving forward and taken down at the 50. Make it into midfield as the clock keeps ticking.
I thought they had him after a yard or two, but he kept chugging away. He got an extra 4 or 5 yards out of that run.
Kiv in chew clock formation right now. Happy to just let that clock tick away and force the Lions to make some decisions here. Confident in their ability to both score points and stop the Lions.
Yeah, looking to run the clock so far. Keeping them, I mean, they're up by 2 scores, so I guess they feel like they're comfortable in their position. They just need to basically play keep away football at this point. One more score by Minnesota here, I think, will put this game out of reach for Detroit. Oh.
Handoff, getting out to the right side, picks up another first down.
This offensive zone blocking by the Minnesota Vikings has been really good in the second half. They seem to be really coming into their own. I don't know what kind of adjustments they might have made at halftime, or if the coach just yelled at the offensive line, but they're certainly showing up in the second half.
I mean, Madison had contact at the 45, 46-yard line and still managed to bring it all the way to the 39, so good on him as well to keep trucking. 2nd and 8 now after a 2-yard gain.
See if they stick with their run game here. See if that moves forward.
And it seems their current goal is to chew the clock. They're still in chew clock's formation, so I imagine they're going to keep running it as long as the running game works. Lateral out to the right, getting good blocking, getting good runs, taking it all the way, cut back in, and there's a touchdown, Minnesota.
Excellent juke move there around the 10-yard line. He basically just faked the defender out of his shoes and was able to run it in for the 2nd touchdown of the half.
Huge, huge play there to make this an even bigger game. A 14-point lead right now, Minnesota in command.
It's a big game, too, this being a division game between Minnesota and Detroit. I'm sure the Bears are watching this game keenly to see how this goes.
I'm confident you're right. The reigning TPCFL champion, the Chicago Bears, and Colbus are definitely watching this game right now. Stafford, 3 to the right from the shotgun. High snap, handoff. Interesting. The center had the block there and then pushed him, and the defender just recovered and ran forward because the center moved forward. He stopped blocking. Very interesting.
That was interesting. He kind of got off his block a little too early.
Snap, throwing over the middle. Great cut. There's a first down. Oh, and he's hit hard to the ground.
That was a big hit. He was pretty open. The safety came across and let him know he was there, though.
1st and 10 now from the 41. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Stafford dropping back into the shotgun. The snap. Looking. Man coming in fast, and he can't get the ball away.
The blitz off the outside just got him. Alexander played that perfectly. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful work. So fast.
He was. Stafford just had no way to get rid of that football. The guy was on him just too quickly.
I think, and he was getting swarmed on the other side as well. Hill was coming in wicked fast.
Well, that was a double blitz from the outside. Had he found a receiver, he probably would have went quite a ways.
Looking, throwing, ooh. Single coverage, and this one's intercepted. Minnesota comes down with it.
Detroit recognizing the desperation late in the game, and they wind up with their 3rd interception of the game on the outside. That ball was well placed, but the defender was there to just step in front of Jones Jr.
Minnesota now content to keep chewing clock and run the ball. Here we see another run, trying to get up the middle and bouncing around before taking down at the 28, still managing to pick up 6 yards.
Shout out to our Patreons. Darth Travis 74, the Meader, Dino, Commando Slippy, Turbo Taco, Bomba Shocks, Steele, and Kiv Style. Thanks very much for your support. If you'd like to support us, please visit us on Patreon.
Patreon.com/TPC Sports Live. Handoff up the middle now, moving it to the 31, 3rd and 1. I imagine this is ideal situation for Kiv. Take 3 downs because you're going to keep chewing clock every time.
Yep. Well, and I
That
mean,
is
he's had success with the run game too. I mean, he's already 3rd and 1. He's run the football twice. He could wind up with another first down out of this.
it's a fair point.
Detroit just has not been shown to stop the run today.
And you know, two scorers is not completely out of this. At the 2-minute warning, very, very hard pressed, but a stop here would go a long, long way.
He would have a chance, I think.
Handoff and pushing him forward over the line to the 33. Madison picks up a first down, and I think he's over 250 yards rushing. No way is that right.
That would be insane if that's the case for the day. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe it was 160 something. That sounds more right.
Well, he's had those 2 big runs today, one for the touchdown, one for that big gainer in the first half.
Lateral out to the right, not getting the blocking he was looking for, but still managing to spin forward for a pickup of 2.
You know, he's getting 4 or 5 yards after first contact on some of these plays.
He is. He's also stretching the ball out before his knees touch. Exceptional running work.
It's interesting sometimes how players step up when the other players get injured.
Crushed hard. Madison, 16 rushes, 200 yards right there.
Wow. That's got to be a career day for him.
3rd and 7 now. That should end the game. Detroit choosing not to call their timeouts and just let this clock tick down.
Yeah, this should be the last play of the game if they even decide to. Oh, they do decide to.
Snaps it anyway, throws it, and he is hit hard, risking injury on the last play. A little bit of ego maybe at play there.
Yeah, it seemed that way, didn't it?
Johnsy played a great game, but the interceptions caught up to him, and Kiv Style and the Vikings come out on top here today with a 14-point lead.
Really was the difference today, wasn't it? Was those 3 turnovers, 3 takeaways by the Vikings, 204 rushing yards. Wow, what a game for that.
Held Cousins to less than 100 passing yards, but when you can't stop the feet, it don't make a difference. Really, really well done by both teams once again. And this is the exact type of action you can expect from TPC Sports Live, is champion versus champion. There's no loser here. Both these guys so strong at what they do.
Yeah,
We won't take...
I was just going to say, Detroit, you know, actually, the score didn't show how close that game truly was. It was really a difference of turnovers.
That's a good point. Coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Cowboys, Bears in a division, in a conference rivalry. These guys were in the conference finals last year against each other, and it was fierce. The Bears came out on top then. Who will come out on top tomorrow? Tune in wherever you watch, Mixer, Twitch, Facebook, and now Twitter, and of course YouTube. Taking a look at some stats real quick. Massively in favor of the Vikings. And time of possession somehow still in the Lions' favor. But exceptional job by both these teams, and I want to thank them for their time and playing this game and being a part of this league. And thank you for calling the game with me today, Carbonator.
Oh, thank you, Meader. It was fun.
You got it. From all of us here at TPC Sports Live, my name's been Meader, and I hope you all have an outstanding rest of your night.